Hi friends, my name is Jess. Welcome back to Books Past Bedtime. Today I'm coming to you in my Tinkerbell bun and green sweater to share with you a very exciting announcement. Me and 7 of my other bookish friends are hosting a Pixie Hollow-themed readathon, and we are so excited to share it with you. So if any of you have seen any of the Pixie Hollow franchise, you'll know that there are 8 main fairies, and so I am a Tinkerbell because of course I am. My girl Emma is Periwinkle, and Amanda, who pretty much came up with this whole readathon, is Fawn. Rosetta is Carol. Queen Clarion is Christine. Iridessa is Mo. Vidya is Rachel, and Silver Mist is Sahar. I love all of these ladies. I'm so excited to be hosting this with them, and it is going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you guys all join. Definitely check out all the hosts. Their links will be in the description down below. Everybody's amazing, and you should definitely be subscribed. So if you're wondering what this is basically going to be a 2-week-long readathon. It is going to take place from March 6th to March 20th, and March 20th is actually the first day of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere, so that was kind of intentional. The whole concept behind this readathon is that we are going to be bringing winter into spring. By reading our prompts and accomplishing our goals, we are going to be changing the seasons, and so the readathon ends on the last day of spring. We thought that was going to be a cute little touch. So that is the time, and as I mentioned, it is going to be a map-based readathon. So basically the idea is that you're going to pick a path of 8 prompts and complete them in order to win the readathon. But of course this is a very laid-back kind of thing. Loose interpretations of prompts are welcome. Doubling up is welcome. But let me explain the map a little bit more. So basically at the top you're going to start with one of Queen Clarion's prompts. So you can either choose to read a book featuring royalty or a book with romance in it. And depending on which side you start on, that is the path of the map you choose. And then so you either do the first 3 prompts on this side or the first 3 prompts on this side. And then you get to the middle, whereas Tinkerbell, me, my 2 prompts are in the middle. And so at that juncture, you can choose to either read a book with the chosen one trope or a book with magical elements. And at that point, depending on which prompt you choose, you can swap to the other side of the map. So once you complete your Tinkerbell prompt, you can either go left or right from there and complete the remaining 4 prompts on either side of the map, if that makes sense. I know it's a little bit confusing, but I think with the visual, it's pretty easy to understand. The goal ultimately is to complete 8 prompts. And there are basically 4 different paths you can kind of choose, mix and match, swap around to complete that 8 prompt goal. So let's go into a little bit more depth about the prompts. As I mentioned, each fairy has 2 different prompts, one on each side of the map. So whatever path you choose to take, you will read a prompt from each and every fairy, if that makes sense. Next is Queen Clarion. She is the queen of Pixie Hollow. And so of course we had to include a prompt about being the ruler of Pixie Hollow. And that prompt is to read a book featuring royalty. This again can be some kind of fantasy, any kind of fairy tale. It's really pretty open, whatever your interpretation of royalty is. I was kind of contemplating for a second making royalty mean a celebrity and using that, so I'm sure that would be fine too if you were feeling that route. But Queen Clarion's other prompt is When Winter Touches Spring, and this is in reference to her little romance that she has within the series. And so that prompt is to read a book featuring a romance. The prompts for Periwinkle, who is our Frost Fairy, number 1 is called Frost Fairy and number 2 is called Sister Sister. The Frost Fairy prompt is to read a book with a winter setting, and the second prompt, Sister Sister, Periwinkle is actually Tinkerbell's twin sister, so that's where this prompt comes from, and the idea behind it is to read a book featuring sisters in some capacity. We will talk about Silver Mist. Silver Mist is a water fairy, so her first prompt is to read a book featuring water. This can be like a book set on water, water on the cover, anything like that will go. So just pick whatever you're feeling. And then Silver Mist the fairy is of East Asian descent, and so the second prompt is called Water Lily, and it is to read a book by an Asian author or a book that has Asian representation in some capacity. So me being Tinkerbell, my 2 prompts are main character energy and fairy tales. Main character energy is to read a book with the chosen one prompt, and fairy tales is to read a book with magical elements. This can be a fairy tale, a fantasy, really anything that fits your fancy. It's pretty loose, pretty open, just something that includes magic in some capacity. Next, we'll talk about Vidya a little bit. Vidya is kind of the troublemaker in Pixie Hollow. She's a bit of an antagonist, and so her 2 prompts, number 1 is Think Fast, which is to read a book with an unreliable narrator, and 2, Put to the Test, read a book featuring trials or competitions, because she kind of likes to mix things up, put people to the test, and so this is a perfect prompt for her and to fit the vibe of her character. Next we have Fawn, and Fawn is kind of not like other girls, so one of Fawn's prompts is to read a book with a character who has not like other girls or pick me energy. Fawn is also the fairy of the forest and the animals, and so her second prompt is a girl's best friend, and that prompt is to read a book with a animal sidekick or some kind of animal character in it. Next is Iridessa. Iridessa is a very bright and sunny fairy, and so her first prompt is called Good Day Sunshine, and this prompt is to read a book that makes you feel good. This can either be a favorite reread or a 5-star prediction, anything like that, any kind of book that you think is going to put you in a good mood and just be a good time. And Iridessa's second prompt is Black Girl Magic, and this is to read a book that celebrates Black women and girls, features Black joy, anything like that will be perfect for this prompt. Next we have Rosetta. Rosetta, her 2 prompts are Garden Fairy and Girl Gang. If you choose to read the prompt for Rosetta that is Garden Fairy, you will be reading a book with flowers on the cover. And if you choose the Girl Gang prompt, you will be reading a book with strong friendships featured in it. So those are all of the prompts, and like I said again, you'll be reading one prompt from each fairy depending on which path of the map you decide to take. That was just a little bit of an explanation in depth of what the prompts are, so you can kind of decide better which path you want to be taking. I also did want to mention that we are going to be having a group book, and our group book is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forrest. This is a YA fantasy following our main character who lives in this world where once girls turn a certain age, taken to this trial and they cut them to see what color their blood runs. If it runs red, they're like regular people, but if it runs gold, they're like criminals or something bad. It's not good to have gold blood. And basically when our main character gets to this trial, she finds out that she does have golden blood and she's going to be punished for that, but then she's approached by this mysterious woman who is like, listen, come with me. I have this army of girls and we're training to like, I don't know, do something risky, overthrow the government, just girly things. And so she decides to go and train with that lady and her army of girls, and I think the story goes from there. So we kind of picked this because it very much sounds like it's going to be a girl power kind of story, and that's the idea behind Pixie Hollow and the Pixie Hollow fairies as well. And we're all very, very excited to check this one out, so I can't wait to read this one with you guys and hope everybody will join in reading it. And if you're not feeling it or can't get your hands on it, that's okay. But if you can't, message one of us, honestly, and we'll try and help you find a copy and we'll go from there. This book is also perfect because I believe it would cover a lot of different prompts if you wanted to throw it in for one of the prompts. For example, it definitely has magical elements, I would think. It definitely has main character energy. Believe that the main character could be considered the chosen one trope. Also, we got not like other girls energy because instead of red blood, she has golden blood. Girl Gang, I would assume that this features female friendship of some kind. Might possibly feature royalty, although I'm not positive, but it is a fantasy, so it also sounds like it features trials, competitions, could be a 5-star prediction. There's a lot of prompts that this book could cover, so I definitely think it is possible to squeeze it into your existing TBR for the readathon instead of adding it as like an extra book or something. So how does one participate in this readathon? We do have a Twitter which you can follow. It's at readpixiehollow. We also have a Discord that you can join. The link is in the description down below. We'll be talking throughout the 2 weeks on there all the time, so definitely join that. I love having Discords for readathons. I think it's so much fun. If you want to use the hashtag readpixiehollow on Instagram or Twitter or anywhere, that would be a good way to get your posts seen by us. We'd love to see videos, TBRs, anything like that, so definitely tag us in whatever. We would love to see it. Also, live show dates are to be determined. We probably will have one maybe on the first day of the readathon and definitely on the last day to discuss the Gilded Ones, but we don't have exact dates or times yet, so definitely keep an eye on the Twitter or the Discord for that information. Also, we do have a really cute TBR cards for you to post on Instagram or Twitter. Those will be in the Google Doc down below. Oh yeah, there's a Google Doc down below that has all this information that I was talking about. It's an easy reference point throughout the couple weeks of the readathon. If you ever like forget what's going on or something, we'll probably also put dates in there. So that is a good resource as well as the Discord and Twitter. But yeah, that's basically it. I will probably be talking about my TBR later on in the month. I don't have it 100% set yet. Definitely watch my plan with me later this week for a sneak peek at it, and then I will also be vlogging the entire readathon, so that will be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you guys are very excited about participating in the Pixie Hollow readathon. I cannot wait, and don't forget to check out the description for all of the relevant information, all of the hosts, all of the Google Docs, Discords, Twitters, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I think that is everything. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, comment down below. I will be more than happy to help you out. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you want to, and I will be back with a new video on Friday. Bye.